I am not one to normally boost your ego, but with the type of business that you have created, I think you have the advantage in where you can try whatever you want.
Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the beautiful Randy Twyford, thank you.
Beautiful.
You used that last episode.
No,
I
he
used
used handsome.
Handsome.
Oh.
How could you forget? We just recorded 40 minutes.
It's been so long ago.
An hour ago.
A week goes by, you don't know what the hell's going on.
And I'm Emma Derflinger. This is episode 97. Wow.
97.
Yeah.
Opposite of 79.
That's okay. I'm just going to stop fighting it. But yeah, 97. We only have 3 more episodes to 100, guys. What are we going to do?
Retire?
No.
Go national?
Maybe. Monetize? Let's start making some money.
How would we do that, Emma? Then would people have to listen to... Would people have to listen to bullshit
An
before they can listen
advertisement.
to us?
Yeah, they would.
It'd probably be Viagra ones.
No.
No? You get to pick who your
Cialis.
advertisements are?
I mean,
Cialis.
we don't get to pick. Well, you kind of do. You can say yes or no. I would say no to a Viagra ad for my own well-being.
Do for that one for that row that's a combination of both Viagra and Cialis.
Stop.
What?
Why are we doing?
You don't see that advertisement for that row stuff?
I don't read it. But
No,
I'm not
it's
as old
on
as you,
Fox.
Randy. I'm not
It's
as
on
old.
Fox.
So then I don't, because I don't watch TV, Randy.
Okay, well, it enlighten your life a little bit.
Huh.
But yeah, it's a combination
Does it work?
of
Does it
Viagra.
work?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's stop right there.
But it's a combination. Have you ever noticed you wouldn't notice you don't watch TV, but how many stuff there is you can get prescriptions for online
it's
anymore?
Insane. It's
I mean,
insane.
why, in a way, why do you even have doctors, you know?
Well, because
you
most
get
of
them
the
on-
prescriptions are scams.
You get them online too.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
do that.
I saw a thing on TV the other day. Was it on TV or online?
What's the
I
difference
don't know.
anymore?
Yeah, what's the difference anymore? But it was a kind of a home health care kit. You get prescriptions for antibiotics and stuff like that. You get about like a dozen different pills for general things that go wrong with you, like a twisted muscle or something, I guess. Or hell, there might have even been Viagra or Cialis in it even,
Yeah,
an emergency kit.
It's funny because
That seems a little dangerous.
I think about
I thought so too, Emma.
I see a lot of things that come up about this whole, because when I think about, I'm going to the doctor, I think on Tuesday for my, my weight loss doctor guy, right?
Right.
My normal doctor. And you think about most doctors when you go to, they're just, a lot of times, I'm not saying they're not educated or whatever, but this stuff moves. They introduce so many drugs so fast. And you get all these pharmaceutical reps come in pushing all these drugs on them, right? Mm-hmm. And hey, let me buy you lunch, it's like, hey, Monty Hall, let's make a deal, right? It's like these people are trying, food service guys coming in, trying to push brokers, trying to push different food, trying to get you to buy this. Well, they're trying to get this doctor to use you for this drug. And guess who's the guinea pig? You are.
Right.
They don't know if it works or not, because the problem is if you're on this drug and this drug and this drug, they don't know with your body how to shoot. So really they're just kind of shooting darts. Sometimes I wonder if they're sitting over there because they've always got their computer. And I wonder if they're over there on WebMD going, Okay, he's got a sore throat and sniffles, and his back
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah,
Let's check for this. Okay, here, let's check this, because there's so many things that it could be. I mean, there's certain things that,
Mm-hmm.
when the flu goes through, that, yeah, you're checking everybody for the flu or whatever. But a lot of times it's like they just start throwing darts saying, oh, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, that
tell
didn't
me
work.
about it. Tell me
You
about
know,
it.
so it's like, but really, are they solving the problem, or are they just masking it with medicine?
Right.
And so there's this big controversy over RFK, which, personally, I think, political or not, I think he's trying to do the right things,
I would
by
agree.
getting a lot of bad things out of our food supply, that shouldn't be there, and trying to get these childhood cancer rates and autism and everything associated with it out of out of our food supply, because I truly believe it is our food supply that's killing everybody. All our genetically bioengineered stuff. I mean, it's just all. I mean, all the food, unless you eat pure food, it's a lot of chemicals. And if
Sure,
you're
there
eating
is.
something that has a lot of chemicals and preservatives, and I think that's kind of part of the reason, like the jam, why we make our own sausages and stuff. It's just, that's my driving factor of, there's no preservatives there. We just make it.
Right.
I mean, it's salt and spices, and so we're not doing anything to preserve that. We're just serving it fresh. We're going through a lot of effort to do it fresh.
Right.
And, I mean, we need to probably promote that more in today's world.
As an example, Darren, I thought of you when I was getting prices. Wampler's pork sausage in the bulk, $3.60 a pound.
360 a pound. Yep.
Yeah,
Which has a great pork sausage, but now read the
yeah.
ingredients list on Wampler's pork sausage so they can sell it and preserve it.
Keep
You
it in
know,
those patties. But this is
well,
bulk,
and
so
it's like bread. I was having a conversation, with Sherry about bread, and it's like you look at the ingredients on bread, and it's just horrible.
That's why most people are starting to make their own bread.
Yeah.
That's why
And
the
people, but
sourdough
people, but
craze
people,
is
but
so
people
big.
complain that it doesn't last very long. Well, put it in the refrigerator.
Hey,
I mean, that's
that's
what we do at the restaurants, right? You keep your bread in the
uh,
refrigerator and you take it out as
how
you
I
need
was
it, and then
raised.
well, we've always kept it out, but then it molds in 2 or 3 days. But that's okay, because it's a lot cheaper. I've always wanted the sourdough always, and I always wanted to get the sourdough thing, but I'm
Hmm.
not sure. Am I home enough? What happens if I don't feed my starter? Do I have to have my
Yeah,
neighbor come
there
feed
are
my starter like a
there
dog?
are a lot of steps.
yeah.
Because I do like, and first, I'm not a big bread eater, right? Now, if I could
Hmm.
feed my sourdough low carb tortilla, and I'm not sure how they make those. I guarantee it's not healthy, but if I could figure
No.
out how to make a low carb tortilla without cheese and yogurt, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And all
yeah.
that
I'd be
stuff.
Well,
making them, because I love making homemade tortillas. It's,
I
if people knew a lot of these, how simple a lot of this stuff was,
yeah.
they're
Well,
like,
like with the pasta that I've started making, I the first time I made it, my friend that had it with me, she's like gluten free. She's got all these or dietary restrictions, and she was like, "I'm gonna risk it because I want to try it." And she's like, "I made it, with three simple ingredients," and she was like, "Emma, that didn't even make me sick." And I was like,
right.
"Well, it's starting to make me think that it's all the other stuff in pasta that makes you
It
sick, and
is
not."
all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Yeah,
there's a lot of studies that say if you buy pasta that's imported,
yeah,
that you don't have that problem. If you get pasta from France and Italy and whatever, that
right.
if you
Well,
get that pasta and buy the
yeah,
really nice pasta then you don't have, and it's actually healthy
yeah,
for you.
right. Well, when I was in Italy, I mean, I lost weight over there. I was eating
Right,
a lot of food, and I
right,
lost weight.
right. But you were probably walking 20,000 steps a day.
No, I had a car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was nice. It was nice. But
So yeah, I don't know pasta because Sherry the other day said something to me yesterday. She's like, I'm like, what do you want to eat? And she goes, pasta bolognese.
ooh, ho, 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 ho,
Ooh,
ho.
Remember when Cheese made that for
I
us in
took the
Galena,
words right out
Illinois?
of my mouth. Made it from
Randy
scratch. Oh my God, it was
made it from
good.
scratch, the pasta bolognese, and that's the only time Sherry's ever had pasta bolognese. She's
That
like, we
was
make
good.
pasta bolognese. I'm like, well, it's kind of an all-day process. But yeah, never made it in my life, but I could call Cheese and figure out what he made.
Sure, sure. It was sure good.
Yeah. I'm not, but I'm going to put mine on spaghetti squash.
Ugh,
But I
I do
made
like
think that if I'm
squash.
going to do it, I need to make homemade pasta. So I'm going to have to call Emma and figure out, have you got that
How to make
perfected yet?
No, I haven't even tried it again, to be honest.
Come on.
I just haven't had the opportunity. I don't make a bunch of pasta for just myself. I'm
Well,
trying to eat better.
eggs are so damn expensive that fuck, it's like
That's
big
also
gold.
Hey, speaking of eggs,
Maybe.
are you going to take? What are your plans? Are your plans to take and raise the price of your eggs, or to put a surcharge?
I'm gonna raise prices. I'm gonna raise
Okay.
prices. We haven't raised prices since we opened the jam. I'm so sick of people saying you need to raise your prices. You need to raise your prices. You're so
All
cheap.
right,
And we were on the
motherfuckers, we're going to raise it. Don't
so
complain.
we're gonna raise them. So really, what's gonna happen is we're gonna raise. I'm not raising much of
Why?
the lunch ones aren't raising much. And the breakfast, eggs right now are up. We're priced in at 25 cents. Eggs are running at 57 cents. They're saying they could
I
go
thought
up
they were higher
more.
than that.
Now they're at 57 cents right now. Um, and so, I mean, if it's got two eggs on a dish, it's going to go up $1
Uh huh.
because also our bread's going up another 4 to 5%
Right.
coming up. So a lot of ingredients are going up. So we're just going to go up a buck on egg dishes. If it's a single, it'll go up 50 cents, which is virtually covering costs, maybe just a little bit of profit in there on the egg dishes. But we're still going to be well within, I mean, we're in the ballpark. I'm looking at some of these a la carte. I mean, I looked the other day and I didn't know this, but when we look at our add-on menu, so we have an add-on menu on the breakfast place that if
Right.
you order a regular entree and then you want to add on a couple patties of sausage, you can add on, right? Now you
Sure.
can't just go order 2 things of sausage without buying a menu item. You just can't do
Right.
that at our restaurant, right? And I know we've talked about that. Well, 2 links of sausage is $1.50, or 2 patties of sausage is $1.50. Well, I'm doing every other restaurant around. It's like $4 and $5.
Really.
Everybody else to add an egg is $3. To add a slice of toast, $4. A
A
slice of
slice of
toast.
toast, $4.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, a slice of toast for us is a
That
buck.
seems high.
But
It
a
is
slice
high.
of toast with us, with butter and jam and everything, cost us about 55 cents. But we
Uh huh.
sell a really premium slice of toast.
Right.
So our cost of there. So we're probably going to go up to $2, I would imagine, on a slice of toast.
Right.
But still relatively cheap compared to the market, but more expensive than we are today. But
Why do you
and we're trying
think?
to, right?
Why do you think people are complaining about your prices being so low?
I don't know. At the
Especially
same
in this
time,
economy where everyone's like, they want prices to be low. Why wouldn't they just take
Right.
advantage of that?
I
I
don't
agree with
know.
you,
But
Emma.
then you get the people that are just so picky that they're trying to split. We have a $5 plate charge because we're like,
Right.
no, you're not splitting something for $5. You're
Yeah.
not buying a meal for $5 and splitting it and taking up my table. Well, people are walking out over that.
Are they
Right.
And
really?
I'm like, really? Yeah, I mean, you can buy something for $5.99. I mean, you can get literally a pancake, a slice of bacon, and an egg for $5.99, and you're mad because you can't split that, right? You're
What's
mad
the
because you can't split it. I'm like,
what's
just
the
buy
typical
another.
age of that? What's the typical age of that
They're,
person
they're,
walking
they're
out?
older. They're older, and it's like, but still, it's like, well, they don't have a lot of money. Well, then if you don't have a lot of money, really, then
Stop going
Really,
out
can
7
you
times
afford
a day.
it? Is that
Or
my
7 times a
problem?
week.
And shouldn't you really just stay home and make your own breakfast?
Eat at home, yeah.
Right? And so it's like, why is that my problem? But those are every 1 and 2-star review we get is because somebody got mad because I wanted to charge them something that was fair. And when I challenge them, they don't respond. But you still get the 2-star. You still get dinged because of
Right.
it. And it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. So do
Sure.
you give in to them and just
That's
fill your seat and let everybody, because it's only a small percentage that are doing it. Or the guy that we talked about that, he wanted to sub out his green beans for cottage cheese, but we wouldn't do it. So he was pissed. Well, I don't want to piss customer. We'll do it, but it's not the same price. So do I have to put then in a modifier in there? I mean, I'm already giving you a really great deal on a daily special, and it's a daily special because we can just do this and this and this. I can grab it. I can
Yeah.
put it out the window. I don't have to go through any other processes. So why have a daily special if you're going to order a customized daily special? Right?
Yeah.
I just don't. People are hard to understand. People are.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Everybody's trying to
I-
beat the system.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing about menu planning is everybody's trying to beat the system, but that's okay. We're not going to be negative today because we
No.
were told we were negative. And we're here to please the customer. So I may get rid of that
Exactly.
plate charge, or I may just bring it down just a little bit. I don't know. Or
I
just-
wouldn't touch it because then
I
you're
wouldn't
caving
even touch
into
it.
them.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
You're caving into them.
Because
Yeah.
here's the thing: the people that actually look at the reviews and think, "Oh, I wonder what's bad about this place," because it's knocking you what you get a 2-star every 10 5-stars or whatever it is. It's not knocking you down enough to where you're like at a
Well,
bad rating.
But you
Well,
think
right.
about that, Emma. So I was talking to the social media gals. We had a meeting last week about it, and she says for every 1-star review you take, it takes 25 5-star reviews to keep you in the same place.
Really?
Interesting.
like-
I guess I didn't think it was that high.
And because I monitor that because we're so new that we had only had 50 some reviews, and we ran at 4.8, and then all of a sudden we went to 4.6. And I'm fine with 4.6, right? Because Smoky D's, we've got 15,000 reviews and we're at 4.6. And then all of a sudden one day we have the same amount of reviews and went to 4.4. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I'm scouring reviews and we don't have any more reviews at all. So I went to him and I said, hey, what's going on? Why is this? And then, well, we'll get to the Google guy. And they're like, what's interesting is some of the reviews, she goes, I left a review. I went and ate there. She goes, I shot photography while I was there, but I left a review, an honest review of what I thought. And so did the gal that was with me. Her review got published. My review didn't get published. I'm like,
Really?
what the fuck's going on here? So she went back in, deleted her review, and then re-entered it and resubmitted it. So I don't know what Google's constantly changing, but then all of a sudden the next morning, here, guess what? Our 4.4 is now 4.6 again. So I'm like, I just don't trust anything when it comes to all these things. But the problem is, if somebody gives you a 1-star review but it's not really your fault, you really have no way to fight that. You're just destined to it. So what I do, and if I'm right, I just make them look like asses online. So that if somebody's reading that review and they want to go see what the 1-star is, then they can really say that, hey, yeah, this guy's.
Because does it show your response online, Darren?
It should, yep.
Okay.
Because they like to thank everybody. I'm not sure what that does. That does something evidently, but I'm not a thank you guy. But if I see a bad review, I want to know about it. I want to fix it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Reviews are weird. The restaurant business is weird, but that's okay.
Oh God.
I
I always
love
think
it.
about how much I hated working with Google for the ghost kitchens. because they because everyone had control over like specifically with the ghost kitchens. Like I remember like the dining in and stuff.
Yeah.
And no matter how many times I tried to change that setting, even if somebody mentioned that there was no dine-in in a review, Google would like just see the word dine-in and assume that we had it or something. And like I could never keep up.
And people would get pissed and they'd leave a 1-star review because they're like, "Hey, this place didn't have dine-in 1-star."
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm trying to get this updated for 3 years. But
So, I mean, people just, I don't know. They just don't understand. I mean,
No.
if you go to a place and it's crappy, it's fine. You can leave a bad review if you want. It's fine.
That's
I
fine.
just soon you raise your hand, but
Right.
But yeah.
it's hard.
Anyway, we're positive people.
Yeah, we're
We are.
positives.
We're positive people. And you guys can do whatever you guys want to do.
Just every listener go out and leave a 5-star review on It's My Jam Cafe. On
I
Google.
used to send. It's a weird thing you have to do, but I used to make everybody 5-star
hate
review
that.
the OC.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's
if
got to
you've
get up
eaten
there.
if you've eaten there and like it, do it. If you haven't, don't you dare. It drives me crazy. People that beg for reviews. I see the social media gals did that on Valentine's Day about asking. I'm like, just no.
Yeah,
Organic.
organic.
Organic. That's the way we go. Organic. We don't ask for positive reviews. If you got a problem, raise your hand. I'll fix it.
Yeah.
But if you guys like wanted to leave a positive review on this podcast, like would be appreciated.
Yeah, then Emma likes it. I'm not sure why, but in
Just
case we decide to monetize it, and
just is nice. I don't know. Having like 5 stars on Spotify looks cool.
does do we
The
have 5
higher
stars?
the, I think so. Let me double check. Where's my podcast button? Oops, that's not us. That's not us. There we go. We do 5 stars, 11 reviews.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
wow! Told my mom to leave another one.
I gotta get in on the. It's kind of hard. I need to figure out how to get into Spotify and like take ownership of the podcast. It's been like
Right.
a challenge I've had so that we can actually see what the back end of that is like, what our numbers are looking like back there. But
Right.
Hey, to change the
listeners
subject,
don't care
Darren.
about that. Yeah,
Change the subject, Darren. I saw some posts and stuff on Facebook about the Cheesecake Factory
Ooh,
being
the
not the
open.
Cheesecake Factory. We call it the Cheesecake Factory.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
no.
literally is a cheesecake factory, but
It's actually opened.
Yeah, I
the
saw
doors
that.
Exciting.
on Wednesday in the middle of a snowstorm. Of course,
Love.
not the greatest weather, all kinds of snow, crappy, but knocking it out of the park. Of course, as
Are
we
they really?
expected. Yeah, so they went through 300 pounds of cream cheese in the first 4 days
Wow.
that's a
as an ingredient. So just to
A
give
lot
you
of
an
cream
example,
cheese.
I used to order in the cream cheese for Lori, and she would, I don't know, they get 10 cases, which would be 100 pounds. They get 10 cases every, I don't know, so often. But now they're cranking. They're learning how to buy in bulk. Of course, I got them a kind of a Me Too deal at Performance Food Group, so they have my
Right.
pricing, which really helps them off the bat. So they get my pricing on everything, my entire grocery store. So they're able to buy I can't tell them I know their secret ingredients, but everything that goes into their cheesecakes, they're able to buy. So they're learning. I got word this morning they hired their 4th employee.
No kidding.
Yeah, so they've got a couple, one person working the counter kind of Wednesday through Saturday, because they're only open Wednesday through Saturday, like from 10 to 6 or 10 to 7. and they're just filling up, and they're offering big cheesecakes, 6-inch cheesecakes, and then single slices, and then flights of 4 different slices
Really?
of cheesecakes. And so, they're knocking it out there. But then they just
So
hired
they
their
have that
first,
much foot traffic.
well, they did in the first. Of course, that's going to die off. But the most important thing, so then they hired somebody now just to start in the kitchen, to help Mark, my brother-in-law, who's been doing all the baking at this point. And so they do a lot of decorating at night of the cheesecakes, because the cheesecake process is you cook the cheesecake, you cool it down, and you're always decorating them. So they go into a freezer and they come out and decorate, and then you can keep these cheesecakes frozen for a long time. And so you can decorate a cheesecake and then freeze it. So she's talking about how to ship it and whatever. But now they've been already in the first. They had a big article in the local newspaper, the regional newspaper. So they've been approached by 2 other restaurants wanting them to supply cheesecakes.
No kidding. Good for them.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that Darren's not going to get any cheesecake production to Des Moines. Right. They're going to be so busy in Southeast Iowa, but that's okay. I'll take a second.
What about, have they started shipping any?
They have not started shipping any. I need to sit down and talk to Lori about that, because, that's a whole nother. She was talking about shipping containers, and that's going to be a whole nother online shipping platform, and that's just going to take some more work.
Right.
Thing. But they do have, they did go with, they do have Square, so they have Square that they're using in the front of the house. So
they're collecting some data.
Everything. They're starting to collect some data about what's there. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, they're off. It sounds like they're off to a great start, but it sounds like, I figured she'd be exhausted, but she's came back and said, pretty much, I've never been so fulfilled in my life, just
good for her.
Just never knew that whatever. And I'm like, that's kind of the attitude that you got to have. It's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears here, but I'm glad it's somebody else's blood, sweat, and tears this time. I'm just glad that I could help glad that Sherry let me have the checkbook for a few months.
Yeah.
To help on this project. So things are moving forward there. So
good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. We'll get them, hopefully we'll get some cheesecakes to Des Moines. When they slow down, then I just got to figure out a way to store cheesecakes. Enough freezer space to store cheesecakes so that we can, take some big batches and then figure out the transportation. How are we going to transport them from southern Iowa to here?
Efficiently, you got your dad.
Frozen. Yeah, but the dust in the back of them truck, and he just, just.
And a post on Facebook, bringing cheesecakes to Des Moines.
Yeah, well, just be ready, because tomorrow there'll be the bringing wood to Des Moines. He's bringing wood to Des Moines. Yeah, funny story. I talked to him yesterday. He's like, last week, I'm like, hey, getting low on wood, and he's like, oh, God's supposed to rain, and I don't know, I'll get around to it. And then he goes, okay, I'm loading it on Sunday. I'll bring it up there Monday. A little skiff of snow, but I think I can make her, no problem. I said, yeah, I'm coming home, but we're going to do this fire on ice thing. And I said, hell, I got to buy all new Carhartts. I don't have any Carhartts that'll fit me. So I got to buy all new winter wardrobe to go cook this damn barbecue contest on ice.
Sure.
And he's like, oh, hell, I got a bunch of shit that I've gained about 10, 20 pounds. I got shit that won't fit me anymore. I bet you it'll fit you. I'm like, shit, throw it in a bag, bring it to me. So hopefully all his shit fits me so I can get some hand-me-downs.
There you go.
Otherwise,
I could just hear your dad. I could just hear him.
So, yeah, I don't
think
he's
a load of wood to Des Moines.
I don't think he's going to be the cheesecake. I don't think he's going to be the cheesecake transportation guy, but we just got to figure out we got to figure out packaging a little bit more.
Right.
So the way she packages and, custom boxes or whatever. So
sure.
A little bit of work there, but another fun project to work on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad things are going well for them.
Yeah.
Lori's put a lot of work into it.
She was talking about, at one point you're going to have to charge me rent, and I said, check your email. I just got the lease done, and it starts March 1st. So anyway, I figure I'd give them a little room to breathe, and now you got the doors open, so now the payments
What a
start. So.
loving brother.
Has the
Yeah.
gun shop opened?
No,
Okay.
they're they're getting there. They got the lathe in there and the metal, so they're all getting ready. I think they're still. I'm not sure if they're waiting on final approval from the ATF or not. They've had
Oh,
to
okay.
jump through hoops with the ATF.
Isn't that
Um,
something?
yeah, to get to make sure. I mean, they really check. They had to have security cameras set up and brake glass and all kinds of security systems installed and safes
Really?
installed and whatever. Oh yeah, even though he's
Oh,
really not selling any guns, he's just working on guns.
I'll be damned.
But yeah, but kind of excited to get cheesecakes and guns. Nothing more Southeast Iowa than cheesecakes and guns.
Amen, brother.
Then,
There's
then the
not.
other thing you need to put a taxidermy shop in there, and then you'd
Taxidermy
really be
shop?
Southeast Iowa.
Oh,
So
I'm
you could
telling
do
you,
deer mounts.
I tell you,
Ooh.
if people keep asking about barbecue, and people, if I could figure out the barbecue thing legally to sell barbecue down there, if I could just, if they would allow me, which they won't, but if they would allow me to cryovac barbecue meat and take it down there and sell it, oh my God,
Right.
she could take cheesecakes up and barbecue back. But I'd have to figure out a way to package it that wasn't oxygen, deprived.
Right.
If I could figure out a way to do that, or if I could figure out somebody to produce that barbecue for me, which, it's not going to be the same then, but man, we could knock it out of the park down there, I guarantee.
Oh, I bet you could. Bet you could.
But yeah, barbecue's hard though. Breakfast is so much easier.
What about chicken and mac and cheese?
Chicken,
The forgotten middle child.
they are. They've been kind of, chicken and mac and cheese have been neglected.
Yeah, they have. They deserve
been-
some love.
They kind of sit there and just do their thing, right? Every week they just kind of do their thing.
Yeah, but
they
that
get
doesn't mean that they don't still need attention.
that they need attention. One thing that when we started that kitchen, it was all about growing those two businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we signed the piece of business to handle the catering of the schools, or catering Ankeny Christian Academy, was we knew that we could fill in time doing prep in the afternoon, because that was our slow time, because you have meal periods. So you're not going to employ people just 2 hours at lunch and 2 hours in the evening. So in order to give people kind of full-time jobs, that we had people sitting around in the afternoon with not much to do. So,
Sure.
we brought on the Ankeny Christian Academy school lunch program, which isn't a huge money-making business, but we already had the labor part of it covered. So, that crew that runs them, or runs the Ornery Chicken and the Crafty Mac, they handle a lot of that prep. Whether it's simple prep of pouring sauces out or whatever, or whether it's, making the meal for the next day. So that really helped with that productivity of the kitchen. So we still have this problem, the same problem we have. People still want to come inside and order.
Mm-hmm.
And, every day people are walking in the door. They don't understand the concept. People, once they get it, understand it, love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a matter of being reminded about it, and that's where, we used to have the email campaign or whatever, but, Randy, I don't know if you know, but my social media and email gal, she quit.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that gal
All
used to do
all
that
at
for
once,
me.
or was it
Yeah,
planned?
just once, just up gone.
Okay. That's how a lot of
Give him a
riffraff.
6 week. I give him a
That's-
6 week notice, Randy. 6
That's
weeks.
what a lot of riffraff does. Just kind of walk
Yeah.
out the door
Yeah.
and just
Just
fuck
walks
you.
out the
you
door.
know.
6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
He,
So anyway, but that's,
he
that was-
found a replacement in the 6 weeks, might I add.
Yeah, I outsourced it. But anyway, one thing we haven't done was we haven't done the email marketing part of that, which we need to go, because it's like the people that have ordered and love it. I mean, I've never talked to one person that ordered it that said, wow, this is amazing. But I think once in a while they just need a little nudge or a little customer loyalty thing or whatever. And
Or a little reminder.
We've never done any of that loyalty program stuff. We've just never put any, and that's been on my mind lately at all the businesses, is customer loyalty and internal marketing within the stores of Smoky D's and Jam and whatever, and just trying to figure out, we've never put any resource to that at all.
Sure.
And got to figure out how do we, well, we used to when you were there, Emma. But most of the time you really didn't even work on the internal side. You were working mainly on the external side. As far as menu board, I mean, I guarantee our menu boards still say the same thing that they said a year ago, probably 2 years ago, our digital marketing boards. So getting, we got to figure out a way to get, the market so that somebody's looking, put that resource. And how do we want to do loyalty stuff? Do we not? Do we want to do email marketing campaigns to customers? I don't want to do it 500 times a day. I don't want to hit people like these big, but it'd be nice, a little reminder. Hey, haven't seen your order at Crafty Mac or the Ornery Chicken. Here's a little spiff.
Yeah. And it's really, I mean, you should be using email marketing for all aspects of your business. Like, we kind of talk about this a lot, I feel like, but even with the catering, you should be sending follow-up emails in some form or another.
Yeah, it just takes somebody to coordinate all that. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of finding, what's that resource to kind of coordinate and understand. And, because like when you used to download all the Toast emails and you got to parse through that and, and then figure out how do we make a graphic.
Wasn't easy.
And it's not easy. It takes some resource.
It's full-time job in itself sometimes.
Yeah. And so I really don't want to outsource that at this point.
That makes sense.
Just a matter of finding how do we do that internally, or how do we hire that resource to do it internally or whatever. So, and then
I'm a great freelancer.
Okay, you are. Tried to hire you 3 or 4 times and you always seem to be busy selling sports cards or going to brunch.
She'll walk out on you. Be careful, Darren.
Did I walk out on him, though?
She'll leave you high and dry.
Did I? I mean, just one part of the many jobs I had. I was like, hey, here you go. I'm still here, though. Every week.
Every week. Different schedule depending on what her social hour is, but
hey, let's just be happy that Emma has a social life, okay?
That's right.
It was pretty touch and go with her for a while. Sometimes I only talk to you guys and my mom. That's okay. I liked it. But anyway.
But anyway, so it's just, we don't want to, of course, we're not going to, I mean, if Sherry says no more locations, so forget I even talked about that. But I mean, if you could have a drive-through at that place, we would absolutely kill it. But we don't, so, so do you put somebody out front and take orders? But then if we're making every chicken sandwich to order, to make it nice and fresh, they may have to wait 5, 6, 7 minutes. So does somebody want to wait that long?
But here's the thing. I think we've had this discussion on here many, many, many episodes ago. But the people that are willing to come in and order a fresh meal know they have to wait. You have to wait everywhere you go, for the most part. Unless it's Little Caesars, then that's about it, So I think they understand that part. Like, if I'm going to go in and order, I'm going to expect my food to be made fresh. So I'm going to expect it to take a little bit of time to make.
Right.
So I don't think that part will be as complicated. But it is having to staff somebody up there. That's always been the issue.
It is have staff, because it's not like you can just kind of have somebody up there and, I'll be there in 2 or 3 minutes when I get done doing this. I mean, it kind of has to
like
be
they have to be
up there. But But then
It's
can
not
that be
steady.
a marketing person that works on the email stuff and whatever? That that's kind of hard to find that person that wants to be the cashier, but also can
Well,
handle that all that
you tend to
electronic.
hire only utility players, so I'm sure you could find somebody.
Yeah, utility players are best.
Mm-hmm.
But
Let me ask,
I mean, but part of that is we don't necessarily have to grow that business through the DoorDash, through the pickup. I'd rather grow that business through the catering side of the business anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You still want people to have a place to taste it, right? Ghost kitchen, whatever.
Yeah.
Need to work on the outside marketing of the building so that people understand, because it is a super busy road. People are there, but it's like, how do we just got to figure out how to do that. And I'm not a marketing guy, so we got to figure out, maybe we need to bring in a marketing person or something to figure that out.
What were you gonna say, Randy?
for people that don't know, what's the whole idea behind a ghost kitchen? Some people may not know what
Well,
exactly the concept, the idea.
we can't really necessarily call the Honored Chicken or the Crafty Mac an actual ghost kitchen.
It was for a couple weeks till we turned
Yeah.
it into a virtual kitchen.
Yeah. But a ghost kitchen it's a kitchen where you're ordering food on it online through a delivery service, just 100% a delivery service, and you don't know where that food is coming from, and they don't have like a set it's kind of like a secret pop-up in a sense.
Okay.
I think is maybe a good way to put that. D-Dub, would you say?
Yeah, they don't have I shouldn't. Yeah, it's not that they don't have a set location, because there's a lot of places that you go online and order,
Yeah.
and if you spend the time on Google, like Mr. Beast Burger,
Yeah.
right?
Mr. Beast Burger, yeah, we've talked about this. They're actually
they're probably the biggest ghost kitchen in the world.
Yep.
Right.
And
But they
after doing
operate-
some research, yeah, they operate. The one in Des Moines operates out of the Perkins down the street from my house.
Right. So Perkins has cut a deal with Mr. Beast Burger. So if mister
Mm-hmm.
Beast Burger gets an order, they handle all the marketing, they handle everything, and then an order comes into Perkins, they make it according to Mr. Beast Burger spec, and DoorDash picks
All
it
right.
up, and the DoorDasher picks
Yeah.
up the Mr. Beast Burger at Perkins, and when you get it, you think it's Mr. Beast Burger, but it really was a Perkins hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly.
Probably the same hamburger you could get at Perkins.
No, they have a different seasoning.
Okay. So, and they don't get
I'll give
great
them that.
reviews, but Mr. Beast
It's-
Burger
Yeah.
has
well,
a
just,
very big following,
Yeah.
just because of I don't even know who that guy is, but he's some YouTube guy.
he's Mr. Beast. What is his actual name?
What's he do?
He makes a living just giving people money and cars and doing challenges and stuff. He makes a living just being on YouTube doing outrageous things. Like him and his buddies will go live on an island for 24 hours and stuff like that. No,
Oh,
he's done an episode where he lived in a coffin for 24 hours, or like they literally buried him. Like he had some ventilation and stuff so he could actually like live, but he essentially lived underground for 24 hours and went crazy, but he did it. In a small box. It's just like whatever you can really think of, he's tried. He does some really outlandish things.
so he's
Yeah.
famous, so people see the brand, and they say, "Oh, Mr. Beast Burger, brand," And so
Yeah.
one thing
Is he-
we don't,
His
one thing
burgers
we
are
don't
okay.
One thing we don't do very well is we don't, we have a great brand at Smoky D's, but we don't utilize the Smoky D's brand, even though we do have some marketing up there. We don't tie the ones together. And for, months now, we've been trying to introduce an ornery chicken sandwich at Smoky D's. We were going to do it just like
Yeah.
one day a week. And then we're like, well, if we're going to do it one day a week, let's do it every day of the week. And we're like, well, if we're going to do it every day of the week, then do we really want to do that? Because we don't want to drag business away.
Right.
No.
You don't want people just ordering it at Smoky D's. Yeah, I don't know. But then you got the jam that's sitting there empty after 3 o'clock every single day. You got a restaurant
Right.
So
sitting empty.
do you do like a little pop up?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Because that's a whole
Here's the
nother.
thing, though, and I think like with Des Moines specifically, and I am not one to normally boost your ego, but with the type of business that you have created, I think you have the advantage in where you can try whatever you want because it's going to be like the first thing in Des Moines. It's like you tried doing the pop up in It's My Jam for the Andre Chicken. No one does that, so like it's going to get traction regardless. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree.
Because of who you are. You know? That really hurt to say.
Did you hear that, Randy?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay.
It's just really hard for me, but
I don't know why that's so hard.
just because everybody does it. Somebody's got to keep you humble.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't. Yeah, I mean the whole thing is it's a marketing game when it comes to the ghost kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 100% ghost kitchen game. You know, so I see that's happening that's happening at Zombie Burger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's opened a ramen shop within Zombie Burger, right? So George is like constantly just everything is ramen, 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 ramen. You don't hear anything about Zombie Burger anymore. Now it's all ramen, ramen, even though it's served at Zombie Burger. So he's trying to launch he's trying to launch a ramen concept in a very popular burger place, touristy burger place in Des Moines because he likes ramen and evidently there's a place for ramen. Now he had a burger place too that I'm not sure is even still in existence. I can't remember the name of it. That wasn't Zombie. He had a ghost kitchen too. It was back when we were first starting the Ornery Chicken. I can't remember the name of it. But there was a burger place. But it was like, should we be running a breakfast ghost kitchen up there? You know, should we be running? I mean, we're doing a little bit, but should we be doing? Because nobody's doing anything.
Right. Well, and like it's one of those situations where don't you think with like ghost kitchens for like the Ornery Chicken, if you could find a kitchen to do like orders Saturday nights downtown, would that not be? Wouldn't that? I feel like that would rake in quite a bit of money. If you could get if I had the ability to get the Ornery Chicken down here, or even if it was kind of like how the ghost kitchen, if you did more of like a virtual kitchen, but like as like a pop up, I feel like a Saturday night you did that downtown, you could make a lot of money because
the other thing I thought about doing was, you know, for a long time I've thought about doing a Texas barbecue thing, or just even not even a competition barbecue pop up within the ghost kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're going to have an award-winning barbecue night, but it's all pre-order. I see What You Smoking's doing that constantly. They're coming to Des Moines because, you know, they're clear out in Luther. So they're a destination spot. Still haven't eaten it, but, you know, I hear they have really good barbecue. I want to figure out what makes their barbecue great. I'm guessing it's thick sliced brisket. I'm guessing it's their custom sausages, just a guess, because I'm guessing it's more Texas style, right? Mm-hmm. Well, easy to do. Or do I just come cook barbecue contest food? Because I can very easily cook contest barbecue food once a month, do pre-orders for it, you know, and it's picked up at the Ghost Kitchen. Boom. And here's these platters. Here's 1, 2, 3 platters. You want a pounded Wagyu brisket. You want a pounded Duroc pork. You want and really upscale it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And allow people to pre-order that type stuff.
Randy's wheels are turning. He's thinking of something. You can see it.
No.
Oh.
No, I agree with you.
But he should try the competition?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should take it. I mean, yeah, you have the advantage to do whatever you want there. I mean, you've been talking about changing Crafty Mac into just bowls for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Never.
why
Only
not?
one. Yep. We just need to find the attention, and we're talking about doing some different change ups there and moving things around that, and we know that we're only open until 7 o'clock at night. We know that we probably need to extend that. I'm not sure how much later we need to go in Ankeny. The problem is
Mm-hmm.
Ankeny's just a weird food town, but I think we need
Yeah.
to gain another hour. I
Mm-hmm.
think we could do a lot of food at 8 o'clock.
I think so too.
Because no matter how late you're open, that last hour is always going to drop off. You could be open until 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock hour is going to drop off.
I would agree.
You can be open till 11 o'clock. The 10 o'clock hour is going to drop off and you're going to be busy till then.
Hey guys, it's Emma from the future here. Hate to break it to you, but we had some technical difficulties while recording this episode, and I lost a good 20 minutes of audio. So I apologize for the abrupt ending, but you know the drill. If you haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod. Find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast, and like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. And as Randy would say, boom, we're out.